Alright, so doing something a bit different here. Gonna go through the races after the fact, try and cut it down to around 10 minutes, maybe a little bit more, and just kind of take the key highlights and talk about that. So starting here, and while I have a beer, tonight's beer is Britannia Brewing's Boardwalk ISA, local brewery here in Steveston. So for anyone in Vancouver, go check it out when you're allowed. But yeah, so normal start to a Zwift race here, but find it's like if you get a good jump out of the gates here, first 10 seconds or so, then can ease back to a sensible, not sensible, but you can ease back to around 400 watts relatively quickly. But I find the key thing is like do not get pushed out the back out of the start here, otherwise you got to chase to just stay up at the front. So the rest of this essentially looked like this as we roll through here. And then it was coming up to the next part here, where we'll see here is coming up to this dirt section, and I'll just kind of talk through this. I knew that my legs were not going to be great today. I was actually not meant to be racing today. Had a work project the last 5 weeks where I have hardly ridden at all. Actually went out for a ride today, did a whole lot of low cadence work for an hour 20, was having a beer, and then got pinged on the Slack channel that one of the guys on our team wasn't feeling the best. So jumped in tonight. After that first 5 minutes, I was like, I knew I wouldn't be able to fake this for like 45 minutes to an hour. So made the decision to, okay, let's try and get to the top here and then attack some the fastest times on the sprints. So the Zwift racing here, you get points for your finish position, you get points for your position over the line in the preems, a bit like intermediate sprints in a normal bike race, but you also get fastest times. And so that's where I kind of made the decision just to focus on here. So here's the first sprint fastest time. Gave it a crack. Can see all the red already, just trying to stay up in this front group on that hill, and didn't have a steamroller and already jumped back to like 41st, so you could see it was already split out. Didn't really get the speed up here enough, but you are working in wheels, which does help, so you get that draft. That was a bit of the struggle I had later in the ride, was I was like trying to sprint through these without that slingshot effect on the draft. But you can see here as we go through, we got the sprint coming, and then we're gonna pause here. Ooh, we didn't pause quickly enough, so we'll just go back. Okay, and then you can see there. So you can see there, here is the fastest times overall for this sprint. The on the left there, the cool thing about this format is you go through 3 times. You can theoretically get the first, second, and third fastest times. It won't show up on the screen there, but this gives you a bit of an idea here. So 23:62 in the end, that was actually my slowest sprint. But as we go through, and then we go around, and then I was done at this point. So kind of sat up. You can see, kind of made the decision. I surfed a couple groups, but it was not happening here. So decided to essentially save the legs really coming up the climb. We got the gray there, and then we can see here is that now we're going to start to try and ramp this up and ramp through again here. So 23:62 was the target to beat, get up there. Only problem here is like definitely you're not working with a draft from that front. One thing I did notice is that I was sitting down after a certain amount of time, so I got to get out of that habit. Like when the legs are hurting, just got to work out a way to keep on pushing in the pedals. But then you can see here, had the aero boost, went through, and we'll pause straight away, and then 23:36. So up the time at that point, we had, of the fastest times overall, we had 3 of the top 5 there with ATP Krypton, which was awesome, which in the end was actually really key to how we ended up finishing. I think if we just looked at first across the line points at the end, we would have been in 9th, but with a mixture of intermediate sprints and those fastest times, we finished 2nd, which was cool. So one cool thing about racing is you are racing as a team. So here we are. We got Dan. Great camera work there from the automatic Zwift camera, as we can see. Well, so Dan here, sitting in that kind of 18th group. See, there was a group up the road. So Garrett was in that group up the road. He finished, I think, around 10th or 11th, which was awesome. I was just riding along, checking back in fan view there. Just making sure I wasn't approaching the final sprint because I was trying to save my legs for that. So small group here. The points tend to, after the top 10, they drop off a bit, but they're in groups of 3 normally. So, but there was a group coming behind, and you'll see this at the finish. So I think the main thing here was to keep this group working because you don't want to get caught and swamped, because I think there was a group of like 10 or 15 behind there. So then you can see here, we'll get Dan's finish here. We run Discord for our team comms, so it's good to kind of let people know where they're at, everything like that. Especially if you don't want to kind of chase down a group ahead in certain circumstances, or you do want to work together in other circumstances. But here we are. We got Dan here. Rolling through, and then we'll go to the finish here. This finish is a bit of a weird finish, kind of creeps up on you. And there's no real indication it's coming. So this is going to be the longest that we'll see of it, but it was pretty cool here. So overall, I think we had Garrett finish 10th. I want to say Peter finished, he might have actually finished in front of this group. I was saying he finished behind, but I think he actually might have finished 18th, so he might have been in the back of the that front group with Garrett and that there. But we had a pretty strong day. We didn't have anyone like high up in the top 10, which does help for the finishing points, but and then you can see there from above you got the group chasing, so it's kind of like,
go Dan, go, you got this. Go, keep going, keep going.
Which makes it tough there.
Keep pushing, don't let that group behind catch.
But yeah, you can see the
all the way through.
There, all right? Like,
good work.
At least 10 or 15 in that group, so
that's it, Jeff. Keep working.
And then now we go back to Jeff here, also in a pretty big group, so
that's it.
A lot of points on offer here.
Once you go, you just got to go.
58,
go.
He gets up here, like, so this is most of the difference of like,
that's it, keep pushing.
Points, depending on where he ended up here.
10 more seconds. Just go.
Which is cool. Like
9,
from the front of this group to the back
8.
of this group.
Good work.
So it was great work there as well. Nice sprint. Then we got Cam as well. Cam also did awesome in the sprint here. Once again, I think it's every 3. I think the bubble was at 71. So you wanted to finish in the top 2 here. If you finished at the back, you most would be 2 or 3 points less. So
that's it, Cam.
Kind of the
Let
cool
them
thing
work.
about this format. Is that once you got different ways that you can race to get points. You can see me there, just waiting for the last sprint. As we go. Be interesting here until I get my legs in me. Is like, may or may not race next week. We'll see who's available. I sense if I'm racing, it'll be a similar tactic, especially as that race finishes with a climb. So it might be about getting those points on the sprints and really targeting and knowing those sprints well. I think that kind of cost me a little bit as well, right? Most would be could have ramped up a bit more.
Let's go now.
Respect. But we got Cam here. We'll watch Cam sprint. He did a really good job here.
Now it's your time.
Was wanting to
go.
Jump early. See the OTR guys there. Go.
Everything.
So once somebody goes, you really want to use them to slingshot. He had an arrow too.
Up.
Which helped.
Up. All the way through. That's it. Awesome. You got this.
Awesome.
Just blow through.
And then bang.
Blow through. All the way to the line. All the way.
And so,
just keep on going.
Which is good. And you can see the huge sprint. Got the jump.
That's it. One more push.
And more points for Krypton, which is nice.
Great work.
And then, so I'm just going to pause here. If I can pause here. I can hit the button. So yeah, so you can see here at this point, we were sitting ATP. Trying to think how this shows. Maybe this shows like every lap or last lap or something like that. But that's where we were sitting. But in the end, I think there was somebody ahead of us here on the sprint. Trying to think if it will show me my times. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But yep. And then you can see there was first sprint with the pack to slingshot through, but just didn't have the legs with the wattage, 23.62. Then 23.36, and then this one, which unfortunately I didn't have an arrow. I was like really hoping for some type of thing. Had the steamroller, which I didn't even hit in the end. Kind of forgot I had it. I don't think it makes a difference on the actual road. But tried to ramp up the speed here a bit more. But it's breaking this down. Hitting the line at 46. Would have been nice to hit the line at like 50. That's the big benefit of a group. But then just tried to put in as many watts as possible. Really got to work on a couple of things here. One being, I'll show you in a second. Like, why do I sit down with 90 meters to go? Which is just silly. Because you can see there, pushing 800. And then it'll drop 772.7, lose those watts. Just like that sitting down, right? So that was that. That was the race. In the end,
I think
got
the
a
team
few,
bus has
I think
already
I got
left, but I'm going across
a
now.
couple of spots in the top 10 for fastest time, and then very much just rolled into the finish for my finishing point and to
Playing
make
the
my
game.
points count. So that was that. Yeah. So thanks for watching. Try and do a few of these. Hopefully towards the middle of the season, I'll actually be in the main race a bit more, so you can see other people racing. But that was kind of how the day went, and yeah, have a great one all.